In today's video, we're counting down the top 10 cities in the US. Everyone is moving to, and trust me, some of these might surprise you, like numbers 7, 5, and 2. We've got cities where the beer flows like rivers, mountains meet yoga mats, and where you can buy a house without needing a second mortgage. But before we get started, let me know in the comments below where you'd like to live and why. Okay, grab a snack, sit back, and let's dive into the top 10 cities everyone is moving to in the US. Starting at number 10, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Forget about the usual sandy beaches and palms along the shore. The place is Green Bay, Wisconsin. In recent years, they have been gaining a lot of popularity. A decent snow shovel and ice skates may be necessary, but where else can you enjoy the excitement of a Packers game, the flavor of cheese curds, and the friendliness of the Midwest all at once? The residents of Green Bay are so amiable that they will usually invite you over for a bratwurst and a game of sheep's head before they discover you are a serial murderer. The city's fish fries are legendary, and the beer flows like the Fox River. Therefore, Green Bay is the undiscovered treasure you've been searching for if you're searching for a place with a distinct charm, a lively attitude, and a love of all things cheese. Ladies, don't forget to wear sweaters, as the lowest daily average high temperature in winter is around 26 degrees Fahrenheit. Although that sounds cold, over 110,000 people are living in Green Bay, and the average home there costs about $251,000. It's gaining popularity, and with the commute time only being 22 minutes, it's definitely worth looking into. Charlotte, North Carolina is at number 9. Thinking about making a move? Well, Charlotte, North Carolina just might be the city calling your name. Why are so many people packing their bags and heading to the Queen City? Let's break it down. First off, job opportunities. Charlotte is booming, especially in the banking and finance world. It's the second largest banking hub in the country, right behind New York. Major players like Bank of America and Truist are here, which means there are tons of jobs for professionals looking to grow their careers. And you may have heard NASCAR is pretty popular in Charlotte. But you see, in Charlotte, NASCAR isn't just a sport, it's a way of life. If you haven't been to the NASCAR Hall of Fame, are you even a Charlottian? It's basically their version of going to church on Sunday, just louder and faster. Plus, their sports scene has something for everyone. Whether you're roaring with the Panthers, buzzing with the Hornets, or kicking it with Charlotte FC. Basically, no matter what ball they're using, we're cheering like it's the Super Bowl, NBA Finals, and World Cup all rolled into one. And let's talk about the cost of living. Compared to other major cities, Charlotte offers way more bang for your buck. The average cost of a home is around $405,000, which is a lot more affordable than places like San Francisco or New York. So, if you're dreaming of homeownership without breaking the bank, this is the place. It's also just a couple of hours from the mountains and the coast. So, whether you're into hiking, skiing, or hitting the beach, Charlotte puts all of that within easy reach. Next up at number 8, Lexington, Kentucky. Ever wondered why so many people are packing their bags and galloping straight to Lexington, Kentucky? Well, let me tell you, it's not just for the bourbon. Okay, maybe a little bit for the bourbon. First up, Lexington is the horse capital of the world. That's right. Here, horses are basically celebrities. We're talking fancy horse farms, legendary racetracks like Keeneland, and people who take their love of thoroughbreds very seriously. Who needs a traffic jam when you could get stuck behind a horse parade? Next, the cost of living. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer or just looking to save some cash, Lexington gives you that sweet southern charm without making your wallet cry. Housing is way more affordable than in big cities. And let's be real, who doesn't want more house for less money? And of course, there's the bourbon. Lexington is basically Bourbon HQ. If you enjoy a good drink, welcome to paradise. You can hop on the famous Bourbon Trail and sip your way through distilleries like a true Kentucky local. But hey, it's not all about the booze. Lexington is also a college town, home to the University of Kentucky. So there's always something happening, from basketball games to cultural events. And let's just say the Wildcats are kind of a big deal. So if you're looking for a place with affordable living, a unique equestrian vibe, and yes, some world-class bourbon, Lexington is calling your name. Saddle up. Next up at number 7, Boulder, Colorado. So you've probably heard about Boulder, Colorado, the city where nature meets, well, yoga pants. But seriously, why are people moving here faster than you can say organic kombucha? First, let's talk about Boulder's backyard, the Rocky Mountains. If you're into hiking, biking, skiing, or pretty much anything that involves moving your body outside, Boulder is basically heaven. And here, people take fitness very seriously. If you haven't run a marathon or climbed a mountain by your second week, you might feel a little left out. But don't worry, there's always a trail waiting for you. And let's not forget Boulder's love for all things healthy and local. The food scene here is like a farm-to-table paradise. Whether you're into gluten-free, dairy-free, or just free-range everything, Boulder's got you covered. Plus, the local farmers markets, you'll start caring about kale more than you thought was humanly possible. Then there's the tech scene. Boulder might look like an outdoor playground, but it's also a serious tech hub. So, if you're into startups and innovation, you'll fit right in. Picture this: coding during the week, climbing mountains on the weekends. Work-life balance? Nailed it. So, if you're craving outdoor adventure, a health-conscious vibe, and a sprinkle of startup energy, Boulder's waiting for you with open arms, and probably a mountain to climb. San Diego, California comes in at number 6. Who wouldn't want to live in a city where it's basically summer all year long? I mean, when your biggest wardrobe decision is which flip-flops to wear, life's pretty good. Let's start with the obvious, the weather. San Diego's got that perfect 70-degree, sunny day every day vibe. It's like Mother Nature said, you know what, let's make this city flawless, and never looked back. You won't even remember what a snow shovel is. But it's not all about the beaches. San Diego is home to the legendary Balboa Park, where you can wander through museums, gardens, and yes, even visit the famous San Diego Zoo. Where else can you spend your morning surfing and your afternoon hanging out with pandas? Speaking of animals, let's talk about food. San Diego is basically the capital of fish tacos. And once you've had a bite, trust me, you'll never settle for anything less. Plus, with all the fresh, locally sourced ingredients, you'll feel good about indulging. And if you love the outdoors, San Diego has it all. From hiking in Torrey Pines to biking along the boardwalk, you'll always find a way to stay active. And don't forget, you're only a short drive from some of the best national parks and desert adventures in Southern California. So, whether you're here for the perfect weather, the beachy vibes, or the endless outdoor activities, San Diego has a little something for everyone. Plus, with a laid-back culture and some of the friendliest people around, it's no wonder folks are flocking here. Who wouldn't want to live in paradise? Next up at number 5 is Huntsville, Alabama. Okay, so you're probably thinking, why are people moving there? Well, let me introduce you to Rocket City. Yep, you heard that right. If you ever wanted to live in a place where science meets southern charm, Huntsville is calling your name. First things first, space. Huntsville is home to NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center, which means it's basically where rockets go to be born. And let's be honest, if you're going to live in a city, why not live in one that's literally shooting for the stars? But it's not all about rockets and space shuttles. Huntsville is growing fast because it's got something many big cities don't: affordable housing. You can actually buy a house here without having to sell your firstborn child. And with more people working remotely, why not enjoy a bigger yard and a lower mortgage? Oh, and don't sleep on the food scene. Sure, they've got that good old southern comfort food, but Huntsville's culinary world is heating up with craft breweries and trendy restaurants popping up everywhere. It's also one of the country's fastest growing tech hubs. Companies in aerospace, defense, and biotech are setting up shop here, which means job opportunities galore. And let's be real, where else can you work on cutting-edge tech while living minutes from hiking trails? So, if you're looking for affordable living, a booming job market, and the chance to say, I live in a city that builds rockets, Huntsville just might be the launch pad you're looking for. Coming in at number 4, Raleigh, North Carolina, where the only triangle drama is deciding whether to live, work, or play. So why are people sprinting here faster than your Wi-Fi after you finally reboot the router? Let me explain. First off, jobs. Raleigh is part of the famous Research Triangle, which sounds fancy because it is. Think of it like this. If Silicon Valley and your affordable dream home had a baby, they'd name it Raleigh. It's techie, it's biotechy, and the job market is booming without the heart-stopping rent prices. Here, you get to work at the big-name companies without selling a kidney for rent. Speaking of homes, you can actually afford to buy one here. Yeah, crazy, right? The cost of living here is a breath of fresh air, especially if you're coming from pricier cities. Imagine owning a home with a yard. And yes, you'll still have money left over for weekend barbecues. Raleigh is also an outdoor enthusiast's dream. Whether you like to hike, bike, or just sit on a park bench pretending you'll exercise soon, this place has you covered. With 9,000 acres of parks, you could probably hike forever. Okay, maybe not forever, but until you've really earned that brunch. Now, let's talk about food. The Raleigh food scene is on fire. No, literally, that hot chicken is no joke. Whether it's Southern classics or fancy international dishes, your taste buds are in for a treat. And don't forget the craft breweries. Raleigh folks know their beer like Southerners know sweet tea. So, whether you're moving for the job opportunities, affordable homes, or just because you heard Raleigh has amazing weather, spoiler, it does. This city's got it all, without the big city headaches. Who wouldn't want that? Come on down, y'all. Moving on to number 3, Colorado Springs, Colorado. A place where you can wake up to mountain views that look like they've been photoshopped. So why are people moving here? Well, let's just say Colorado Springs is where outdoor adventure meets affordable living, with a side of, I feel so healthy just looking at those trails. First up, the great outdoors. Colorado Springs has epic hiking, biking, and rock climbing right in your backyard. Like, if you're not into outdoor activities, don't worry. The views alone are enough to make you think about getting fit. Whether it's hitting the trails at Garden of the Gods or conquering Pikes Peak, you'll find yourself saying, I could totally be an athlete now, even if you're just there for the Instagram pics. But here's the real kicker. Colorado Springs is actually affordable. Yeah, I said it. You don't have to sell your car to afford rent. Unlike some other Colorado cities that shall remain nameless, Denver. You can live near the mountains without taking out a second mortgage for groceries. Oh, and let's talk about the vibe. Colorado Springs is that perfect mix of laid back and up and coming. You've got craft coffee shops, breweries, and enough restaurants to satisfy your foodie soul. And yes, they do serve kale here, but don't worry, you can still get a good burger without any judgment. So, if you're looking for mountain views, outdoor adventures, and a cost of living that won't make you cry, Colorado Springs might just be calling your name. Seriously, who wouldn't want to live where other people go on vacation? Coming in at number 2, Boise, Idaho. Yes, the city everyone thinks is just about potatoes. But guess what? There's a lot more to this place than your favorite carb. In fact, they've experienced significant growth over the last 10 years, with the city's population increasing by over 24%. The rapid expansion was driven by an influx of people moving from more expensive regions, particularly the West Coast, in search of more affordable living, better job opportunities, and a balanced lifestyle. So why are people moving to Boise faster than you can say hash browns? Let me break it down for you. First off, the great outdoors here are next level. The Boise River runs right through the city, and there are over 200 miles of trails to explore. It's basically a playground for adults who never outgrew their sense of adventure. And, okay, maybe a little for those who are just pretending to be outdoorsy. Here's the kicker, Boise's still affordable. Yes, in 2024. While cities like Seattle and San Francisco are laughing at the thought of reasonable housing prices, Boise is out here like, hey, want a yard with that house? Sure, why not? You can actually buy a home and still have enough money left over for, living. Boise's vibe is like small town charm meets big city convenience. It's got everything you need, from locally roasted coffee to farm-to-table restaurants, but without the stress of rush hour traffic. Seriously, the only rush here is getting your hands on a fresh bag of Idaho fries. So, if you're looking for a place that's outdoorsy, affordable, and just the right amount of chill, Boise is where it's at. Potatoes aren't the only thing growing here. Boise's got big things on the horizon. And our number 1 city that everyone is moving to is Overland Park, Kansas. Wait, Kansas? Yep, you heard that right. This suburban gem is where people are moving in droves. And no, it's not just because they're huge fans of Dorothy and Toto. So, why are people flocking to Overland Park? Well, for starters, if you want that perfect suburban dream, this is your place. With tree-lined streets, safe neighborhoods, and top-rated schools, Overland Park is basically Pinterest board goals in real life. It consistently ranks as one of the best places to live in the US due to its high standard of living, making it an attractive place for families and professionals alike. But don't let the family-friendly vibe fool you. There's more to this place than just backyard barbecues and cul-de-sacs. Downtown Overland Park is booming with local shops, restaurants, and breweries. Whether you're grabbing brunch, hunting for antiques, or just sipping on a local brew, there's always something happening in this charming little downtown. And let's talk about the job scene. Overland Park is part of the Kansas City metro area, meaning you're just a quick drive from major job opportunities, especially in healthcare, tech, and finance. You can work for big companies like Sprint or Garmin, then head home to peace and quiet in the burbs. Oh, and the parks. Overland Park has more than 80 parks and miles of trails. Whether you're walking the dog, riding your bike, or just pretending to exercise, there's plenty of green space to explore. Basically, you get the benefits of outdoor living without ever leaving the city. So, if you're looking for a city with big city job opportunities, small town charm, and enough parks to keep you busy all year, Overland Park might just be calling your name. Plus, you don't even need to click your heels together to get there. And that's a wrap on the top 10 cities people are moving to right now. From the cozy community vibes in Overland Park, Kansas, to the epic mountain views in Colorado Springs, these cities are more than just great places to live. They're packed with opportunities, affordability, and unique local cultures that you just can't find anywhere else. Whether you're looking for a city where you can cheer on the Green Bay Packers with cheese curds in hand, or you want to live in a tech hub like Boulder, Colorado, there's truly something for everyone on this list. And with housing prices and job markets that are actually reasonable, it's no wonder these cities are growing so fast. So what do you think? Did any of these cities surprise you? Are you thinking about packing your bags and heading to one of these spots? Let me know in the comments below where you'd like to live and why. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and share this video with anyone who might be on the lookout for their next big move. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.